Hello, welcome back to the second part of my tutorial. Today I will be showing you how I colour an eye, just because last time I think I didn't manage to record that part, so I'll be colouring a different eye. That will be a continuation of my last tutorial, which was skin. Please check it out. So I think I'm going to draw an eye and just show you the process kind of. I'm not going to focus on it too much. I'm just going to go over it in pen now. I'm going over it really lightly and almost kind of in a sketching kind of way, simply because I prefer to print out my line art and I didn't really have time to do it this time. And I want to go over the lines in pencil, so I'm using a really thin pen. So if you want to know how I blend markers, please check out my previous tutorial where I do show you in the beginning how I blend two markers without a brush tip. I'm just going to do the skin, I'm not really going to show you too much because you can just watch the other video. I'm just darkening the shadows, adding a bit of hard shadows where I don't actually blend it, like the eyelid. You don't really want to blend it on the line because you want to have that harsh line to show that there's a fold there. Whereas with the soft areas, like the fleshy part around her eyelid, over here where you can see the roundness of the eyeball, that's where you want the shadows to be. And under her eyebrow. Now that I've added quite a bit of shadow, I can see where I want to deepen the lighter parts, just because I don't want it to have too much contrast. I'm just going in the really dark bits where I want to accentuate the depth. And I'm blending with the base colour because I don't want to add to the darkness by using the peach colour. I'm just going to do the eye white now and the tear duct and the waterline. The tear duct and the waterline aren't a bright pink, they're kind of a muted pink. So I'm going to go in with the light pink colour. Now I'm just going to add shade to the eye whites with, and then actually use a grey marker. I use a really light purple because I feel like if you use grey, it kind of makes it look a little bit muddy. But I do use a grey pencil to add the depth. So I'm going to use the exact same colours from before, simply because last time it didn't seem to record and I thought maybe some of you would like to see how I did that. So it's not going to be a usual eye colour. I am mixing a few colours together. So my base colour will be pale lavender, And you can actually use this colour to deepen the eye white because it's also like a purplish colour. And I'm just going to go around the whole eye with this colour. Normally I have about three marker colours for the eye. You always want to choose your base colour, then a shading colour to make it look round and deepen the shade, and then you want a really dark colour to add in the pupil and the shadow cast by the top of the eyelid. So the next colour I'm going to go in with is a pink, just because in my previous picture she had a funky eye colour and I think pink and purple goes nice together. So I'm going to go around the eyeball to show that it's circular, and the shadow cast by the eyelid, and then also the pupil. And then I'm going to quickly go back in with my base to blend it. Okay, now I'm going in with my deepest shade, and that is a darker purple. Well, it's kind of more of a pinky purple if anything, but I'm going back in with the pale lavender, the base colour, just to blend that in a little bit. And I'm going back in with the pink as well, just to add that back in. Okay, so now that it's dried, I feel like there needs to be a bit more purple here, so I'm just going to go around this bit. And I'm also going to add in a really dark colour just for the pupil. What I like to do is I like to now add some colouring pencils just to kind of blur the eye out and make it look a bit more soft. And the way that I'll do this is I will choose the base colour of the eye. So in this case it's a very pale lilac colour, and I'll get the corresponding colour pencil. Do make sure you try out the colouring pencil first on a different piece of paper to make sure that it matches your base colour. Okay, so I've gone for this Arteza colouring pencil in lavender, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around the edges of the eye really softly to sort of blur out the outline. Now you do have to be patient because you want to use very light pressure because you want a really soft sort of airbrushed effect. Now of course the smaller your eye is, like the smaller the picture, the less far out you have to go to blur out the eye. This is quite a large eye, so I'm going quite far out. There's quite a lot of pink in this eye, so I'm going to add another colour on top. And then I'm just going to actually add some colour around the top of the eye and then eventually around the pupil. Just going back in with the lavender. And then I'm going to grab a slightly darker colour just to blend out that pupil. You don't need to do this with Arteza pencils. You can use whatever colouring pencils you have at home. I just think it adds a sort of nice effect to the markers, especially if you can't achieve the best blending effect without a brush tip. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a grey and deepen the shadows around the eye white, and then add the colouring pencil to the skin. And I do add it to the tear duct and the waterline too, just because I think it tones down that bright pink. You don't really want her or the eye to look bloodshot or as if they've been crying, unless that's the look you're going for, but I'm not at the moment. I'm going to use this to go over the folds of the eyelid and the I don't know what this is called, the eye bag, and the eyelash area. This is actually too... that's better. And then I'm going to go over the eyelash area with the dark colour, the dark brown. This is why I really like to do the line art really thin and sketchy, because I like to soften the lines with a pencil. So that's why when I did ink the eyelash area, I did it quite thin, so I could go over it, do a much thicker line with a pencil afterwards. And then I don't know, maybe darken this bit here. And then I'm going to just get a dark pencil, a black, and do the eyelashes. I think that's good. And now we can do the the fun part, which is adding the highlights. Oh, I haven't done the eyebrow. I'll just do a purple. I don't know. Oh no, oh, her hair's blue. Okay, so I'll do a purple. Never mind. Okay, white highlight. So I normally either use white acrylic paint, simply because I have the Uniball Signo and I think I must have gotten a faulty pen, because so many people say that they love this and that's better than the Sakura Jelly Roll pen, which I do not have. And I mean, this always comes out really streaky and inconsistent. I think that must just be my faulty pen though, but I'm kind of reluctant to buy a new one just to see if it is the pen I got and not the actual brand itself. But I'm going to use this today just because I don't want to use paint. Let's add in the shine. Oh, you see what I mean? I like to dot some on the waterline, and I mean, you can go a bit crazy if you want, but... So that's it for this tutorial, and thank you for watching. And if you've watched both videos, thank you so much. I hope you learnt something from this. I'm not an expert when it comes to colouring with markers. This is just what I've learned over the past few weeks of actually using them. But if you have used this tutorial, please let me know if you've used it. I would love to see your work. If you like my artwork, please consider subscribing to my channel, where I do more marker videos and tutorials and art challenges. Thank you for watching, take care, and I will see you next time. Bye!